Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside the broadcast booth here in Truist Stadium in downtown Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Brett Wiseman alongside you as we get you set for Carolina Disco Turkey Baseball, the first home matchup for Carolina here against the arch-rival Boone Bigfoots from just up 421. Carolina's lost both matchups to the Bigfoots so far this year, and looking to bounce back from a heartbreaking 5-4 loss last night here at home against the Greensboro Monarchs as we jump into the game day gobble. Last night, as we said, it was a heartbreaker. Carolina led at every point in the ball game until the top half of the ninth inning when a two-run double for Greensboro brought in the tying and go-ahead run subsequently, and Greensboro held on behind a fantastic pitching performance in relief from Alejandro Rodriguez, who on 116 pitches came in and shut the door the last 7.5 innings for Greensboro. Good things, though, for Carolina offensively yesterday, and that'll lead us to our keys to the game, and that's to keep things simple. Number one, keep it simple at the plate. A fair amount of strikeouts yesterday was the only downside. The one thing I'm looking for tonight is for guys to be a little bit more aggressive in the box. And number three, keep the intensity going on the mound. Keep pounding the strike zone. Both times these ball clubs have met, there have been too many free bases, not only via the walk, but also via the error that Boone has taken advantage of. And when you get a team like that that can feast on mistakes, it's not the way you want to go. Let's get into the Foothills Brewing starting lineups. Presented by Foothills Brewing. Try Foothills great beer and coffee at either 3 Triad locations. Find out more at foothillsbrewing.com. It'll be David Julian leading things off for the Boone Bigfoots, playing second base for them this evening. Justin Reed in left field. Braden Odom in center field hits third. Tyson Bass, the third baseman, hits in the cleanout spot. Walter Monday, the right fielder, hits fifth. Logan Lex, the first baseman, in the sixth spot. Miguel Abascal hits seventh, the designated hitter this evening. Chance Campbell behind the dish hits eighth. Logan West, the shortstop, hits ninth. And Matthew Dooley on the bump for the Bigfoots. For your homestanding Carolina Disco Turkeys, an interesting guy in the leadoff spot to say the least, but a good choice, I think, and that's D. Hawthorne. He'll be in center field this evening. He'll bat leadoff. Kix Farrell, the third base today, back at third where he's been most of the year, swapping spots with Austin St. Laurent, who will hit third. At shortstop, Logan Conklin at first base this evening, not behind the plate. He'll hit cleanup. Dino Tharp will play second base and hit fifth. Trey Newman behind the plate hits in the sixth spot. Henry Kohler, the left fielder, hits seventh. Dane Stewart, the Demon Deacon, hits in the eighth spot in right field. And Nick Macadon, the designated hitter tonight, the starting pitcher yesterday, will hit in the ninth spot. We'll have first pitch for you coming up momentarily here on the Carolina Disco Turkeys YouTube. We apologize if we lost audio for a moment there. It's a 1-2 count, and now a strikeout from LaSalle's Logan Kennedy for the Carolina Disco Turkeys. His first appearance with Carolina. LaSalle out of the Atlantic 10. The second from that conference to come to Carolina. Henry Kohler, the right fielder this evening from Davidson. This year for Kennedy at LaSalle, 24 2/3 innings pitched, 21 runs surrendered, 14 hits, but also 14 strikeouts. And it misses up and away for ball one to Braden Odom. David Julian tried to bunt his way on to lead off the ball game, and Kennedy fielded his position very well to get the out, and then he's able to get Justin Reed on a strikeout looking, and then gets a strike called on the outside corner for strike one. Looking for a 1-2-3 inning to start off the evening for Carolina. The high Dontrell Willis-esque leg kick, and a curveball misses down for ball two. Julian, one of the main cogs in this Boone lineup, takes a fastball on the inner half, a good pitch to even the count at 2-2. Good crowd filing into Truist Stadium and more waiting to get in at the ticket window behind the right center field video board. 2-2. Just missed. Not by much, though. Good spot. And the count goes full now, 3-2. Kennedy, another D1 pitching product. Like what I'm seeing so far. 3-2. That's hit well into center field. D. Hawthorne's on his horse. He's not going to get there. It's going to one hop off the wall. Played well, though, by number 20. And it's going to be a two-out double for Braden Odom. There's the offense we know Boone is capable of. First time they've played here in Winston-Salem. The previous two, we saw them up the mountain in Boone. And now it'll be Tyson Bass, the cleanup hitting third baseman, power bat. And for the first time today, Colin Kennedy from the stretch. Big time fastball right on the black, strike one. Kennedy with that little bend to his motion in the stretch gets two fastballs right over the outside corner, perfectly executed for two quick strikes. Trying to fade that two-out double. Comes set. Check on the runner at second. The 0-2. Strike three called, breaking ball outside corner. He buckled Tyson Bass, and that'll do it to retire the side. A scoreless top half of the first inning from the new guy, Colin Kennedy. Boone strands one. Carolina coming to bat after this. Back here at Truist Stadium in downtown Winston-Salem, D. Hawthorne will lead it off for Carolina against Matthew Dooley, who Carolina saw in their last matchup up in Boone, and a big swing and a miss by D. Hawthorne for strike one. Hawthorne at a Carolina University, one of the products of head coach Kurt Cabana, as he checks his swing, but more than went around, and that's strike two. Quick 0-2 count on Hawthorne, who's hitting a .197 on the year and takes a good breaking ball on the inner half for strike three. And Matthew Dooley makes quick work of D. Hawthorne with a 3-pitch strikeout for out number one. And on comes Kix Farrell now, who had that whale of a ball game Friday evening. 4 for 4 at the plate, responsible for 6 putouts at shortstop. And then had a couple of RBIs yesterday in the 5-4 loss to Greensboro. The West Texas A&M infielder looks at a breaking ball in for ball one. He's only hitting 106 on the year, but he's walked 5 times. So he finds a way to get on. 1-0. That is well hit to the right side, but also well foul. And that'll even the count at 1. Farrell's a redshirt junior at West Texas A&M. He stands 5'10", weighs 150, bats and throws both from the left to the right side. A native of Memphis, Texas. And that is over the inner half for strike two. Dooley is pounding the inside half of these first couple of hitters. And I guarantee you the first base dugout's writing that down. 1-2 to Kix. That's on the ground up the middle. Play to be made by David Julian, and he's got it for out number 2. A quick 2 outs at that on just 7 pitches for Matthew Dooley. And now it'll be Austin St. Laurent, the sophomore pitcher-infielder two-way combo out of East Carolina, who made it to the Super Regionals in this year's NCAA tournament. But when you face Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter in a best of 3, the chances get slim to none. But Austin's been good so far for Carolina this summer, hitting a whopping .433 thus far. He's got 9 hits. He's also walked 7 times, and he's 3 for 3 on steal attempts. He takes that over the inner half for strike one. Dooley can fool you with that pseudo sidearm action. It's not complete submarine, but it's also not complete sidearm. It's kind of in between, and St. Laurent calls time to regroup. 2 quick outs and a 1-1 count to the ECU shortstop. Dooley 1, 2, 3, 4 shakeoffs now, and he'll step off, and they will have a mound visit to try and work out some signs here. Some catchers don't like that. Some catchers don't care. But if you're Crash Davis from Bull Durham, you definitely don't like it. Fun fact, Crash Davis was actually a real player, in case you forgot. In the 1950s in the White Sox system. Played here in Winston-Salem for the minor league club. 1-1 to St. Laurent as a slide piece that is swung on and missed for strike 2. And that one caught Chance Campbell on the bounce in an awkward spot, and he'll stand up and shake that one off. Catchers, some of the toughest human beings on the planet, and he bends right back down into the crouch to receive the 1-2 from Dooley, who has the sign he wants. Here comes the windup and the pitch, hitching the giddy up, and it fooled St. Laurent, and that's strike 3, and that'll retire the side. Both teams go 1, 2, 3 in the first. Boone coming to bat in the second in a scoreless ball game in Winston-Salem. back here in downtown Winston-Salem. Scoreless top half and bottom half of the first inning. And Colin Kennedy looks to build on that as the first pitch to Walter Monday is outside for ball one. Kennedy with that Dontrell Willis-like wind-up, if you remember what that looks like. The high leg kick. He's always one of my favorite guys to watch growing up out of the Florida Marlins system. And that one's fouled off to the right side, and it's 2-1 now. Walter Monday, the right fielder this evening. And that is hard hit up the middle. St. Laurent fields it on the backhand, and a good throw to first will get the speedy Monday for out number one. So St. Laurent, who started the last two games at third, back at his traditional shortstop tonight, swapping spots with Kix Farrell. And neither of them seem to miss a beat no matter where they are in the infield. Logan Lex will stand in now after the ground out. And that one is popped foul to the left side, 0-1. Lex, the first baseman for the Bigfoots. One of the many bats in this lineup that can get a hold of one. And instead, he's going to drop down a bunt down the third base line and surprise everybody. But unfortunately for him, and fortunately for Carolina, it goes foul for strike two. Not a bad idea. Lex, despite being a corner infielder, is pretty fleet of foot. Woodlands, Texas native from another D1 school and a conference opponent of Colin Kennedy. That's George Washington University. And that's fouled back towards us, and he'll stay alive. The A-10 thought of a lot of times as a basketball-only conference, but a lot of good baseball product out of there, and they're matching up in this at-bat here. Lex fouls that one back over top of the netting and over top of the awning up into the Flow Club at the top level here at Truist Stadium. Truist Stadium built in 2009. Built and opened in 2009. The home of the Winston-Salem Dash, the high A affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. Lex chokes up on the bat with two down. One down. 0-2 coming. Fastball right down the pipe. Got him looking. Safe to say he was not ready for the fastball. So it's a backwards K for Kennedy. His second of the night so far, and that's out number two. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Miguel Abascal, who homered in the matchup last Saturday in Boone. He was hitting ninth in the order last night, and that's something Boone likes to do a lot. And it proves just how deep this ball club is offensively, as that's fouled back for strike one. Everybody has pop 1 through 9, which means you put guys at different spots in the lineup and they still make an impact. Your DH hitting in the 9 hole as he was last Saturday night has the power of a cleanup guy. There's no rest. 0-1 is a half swing and a miss, and Kennedy fooled him again, 0-2. Good stuff from the LaSalle Explorer product thus far. On the rubber, waiting for Abascal, working quickly as Kennedy. The 0-2. Abascal wanted to, but he wisely laid off the slider. And that'll make it 1-2. Good block by Trey Newman behind the plate. Kennedy set. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and fouled back, and Abascal will stay alive. Abascal, the Huntington Beach, California native. Produces good baseball players like him and good punk rock bands, if you know what I'm talking about. 1-2 coming. Misses just low, 2-2. It's another thing about Abascal, aside from the power, and across this Boone lineup, they love to grind out at bats. 2-2 with 2 down. That's fouled back again, and they'll stay alive. Putting together a really solid at bat is Miguel Abascal. The product of Biola University. Another 2-2 from Kennedy. That's fouled off again. And he stays alive again with deuces wild. 2-2 the count, 2 down, and of course in inning number 2. Just the one he hit on the board was the double last inning from Braden Odom. Another 2-2. Misses down and away, and now he's run the count full. Coming up on the 10th pitch of the at-bat for Miguel Abascal. And has pushed Kennedy's pitch count up to 32 now. Full count pitch. That is in the air. Shallow right. Should be playable. Kohler will call off the second baseman, Tharp, and make the play for out number 3. So despite the 11 or 10 pitch at bat, Abascal flies out to right to end the threat. We're still scoreless in downtown Winston, Carolina, looking to get the bats going when we come back. Back here in downtown Winston-Salem. Logan Conklin, the cleanup man for Carolina, will lead it off. And he takes the first pitch on the inside corner for strike 1 from Matthew Dooley. Dooley, the side armor, finds the inside corner again and continues to pound the inside corner at that. And he gets a couple of pretty favorable calls from our home plate umpire to push the count to 0-2. Breaking ball trying to get Conklin to chase. A good setup going inside on the first 2 pitches. And then down and away with the 0-2. With a good take by Conklin, who's got a home run to his credit so far this year. Hitting .333. 1-2. Misses down and away again, and the count even 2-2. the Muncie, Indiana native, playing first base tonight, but a catcher by trade. We've also seen him at second and third, and last night saw him throw a third of an inning on the mound. 2-2. Misses down in the way, and he's worked the count full, and Dooley's tried to get him to chase that breaking ball on the outer half 3 times now, and he's not taking the bait. Three-two. On the inside corner, strike 3 called. He went back to the same spot. He got the first 2 strikes called, and the same result as the first 2, and it's a strikeout looking by Conklin to start the second for Carolina. And that'll bring up Dino Tharp. He's hitting .373, still the leader in that department for Carolina on the year. McCordenville, Indiana native, also out of Carolina University. And he takes that for strike 1, a good breaking ball that slid right over the heart of the plate. Tharp playing second base tonight. We've seen him at both middle infield spots this year. We've seen him have some time out all over the infield, except at first. And we've seen him make a couple of appearances in the outfield as he takes that one inside, and they almost got him. And the count even 1-1. Trey Newman on deck. And if anybody gets on, Kohler. 1-1. Flared foul back towards the netting, 1-2. And pitching coach A.J. Lewis will retrieve the foul ball. And it's a 1-2 count to Dino. Hit on the ground, back to the mound. Dooley will field cleanly, set and throw on to first. And there's out number 2. Good pitching from both sides early on. And that'll bring up Trey Newman, who's the nephew of the team president of the Winston-Salem Dash. The Phoenix, Arizona native from Utah Valley. Division I school out of the Western Athletic Conference, and a big swing from him yields a foul ball off our home plate umpire, it looked like, for strike 1. Newman looking to get it going at the plate. You can tell he's close, though, as we've talked about this week. He's hitting .147, hit .213 on the year at Utah Valley. And that's a hanging breaking ball that's headed toward the gap in right center. Diving catch, are you kidding me? Braden Odom flashing the leather to take an extra base hit away from Trey Newman to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no one left. We're scoreless through 2. Sheesh in Winston. Back here at Truist Stadium in downtown Winston-Salem. And Chance Campbell, the Bigfoot backstop, will lead things off for them in the road half of the third inning. He looks at ball one, and on comes the 1-0 right over the heart of the plate for strike one. To Campbell, the Calabasas, California native, also out of Biola University. Teammates with Abascal, the DH, and he looks at a good pitch that just missed for ball two. Still a pretty good crowd filing into Truist Stadium tonight. The 2-1 misses, and it did miss by much. It's 3-1. Reminder, if you're tuning in and maybe thinking about coming down to the ballpark, if you got a college ID with you, it's half-price tickets. It's college night. And that is absolutely hammered out to deep left. It got caught up in the wind, and it's going to die towards the warning track for out number one. Solid contact from Chance Campbell, but it got caught up in the wind that's blowing in from left field and died just short of the warning track, where the catch was made by Henry Kohler for a very loud out number one. And now on steps the 9-hole hitter, the shortstop Logan West. And he'll hammer one out to deep right field. Back goes Stewart towards the track, and he makes the catch. It's two loud noises, but two outs. Fortunately for Campbell and Carolina. And back to the top of the lineup will go and David Julian. A little more lift on that ball to right, and it might hit off the Wake Forest sign out there in right. So a loud fly out to left and a loud fly out to right. Bring up Julian with two down in the third. Swing and a miss and a good breaking ball for strike one. Good job there by Kennedy. You're going to try and miss a barrel here. 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1. And a 58-foot fastball that time. First time anybody's really made solid contact off of him since the double in the first, and he pounds the inside corner with that fastball for strike two. Kennedy looking to get through three scoreless to start this ball game. Here's his 1-2. Almost went around did Julian, but wisely held off, and the count even now at 2-2. Just the one hit surrendered by Kennedy, and it was the double from Braden Odom back in the first inning. 2-2 coming. Swing and a miss. Beautiful slider. It was in the dirt. The throw down to first will be more than in time. And Colin Kennedy is doing the thing here in Carolina. Scoreless through three for Boone. Carolina looks to get on the board when we come back. Looking for an opportunity to promote your local business? Contact us today to become a sponsor of the Carolina Disco Turkeys. Opportunities start at just $100 per season. To learn more, email sponsorships@discoturkeys.com. That's sponsorships@discoturkeys.com. Matthew Dooley back on the bump for Boone. Henry Kohler steps into the box for his first at-bat for Carolina this evening, as they look to get on the scoreboard in what's been a pitcher's duel to this point, and a breaking ball that hammers the outside half for strike one.
Left fielder, number 15, Henry Kohler.
And Kohler hammers one out to center, but unfortunately for him, it is right at Braden Odom for out number one. And that is how the third inning will get underway. They're to bring in Dane Stewart, who looks at a strike on the outer half. Stewart, the Demon Deacon product, hitting .234 on the year, playing right field this evening, and takes a breaking ball in the dirt for ball one. A native of Cary, North Carolina, is Dane, and a graduate of Cardinal Gibbons High School, a sophomore down the road at Wake Forest. And that pitch inside, 2-1. Good take there on a really tough pitch. Dane trying to get something started here for the Carolina Bats as he takes inside ball three. And the first 3-ball count of the evening for Matthew Dooley. Something he's not been accustomed to quite yet with Nick McAdon, the DH, on deck. Big swing and a miss on a 3-1 pitch. A good hack, though, by Dane Stewart. And that will make it a full count. Dane looking to find a gap here. 3-2, swing and a miss, strike three. Dooley's got the strikeout pitch working here, as that's number 5 already at out number 2. And that'll bring in Nick McAdon.
Number 18, Nick McAdon.
He's done pretty well at the dish so far this season. Hitting .250, and now that's well hit down the left field line. That might get down, and it is a fair ball into the corner. McAdon hustling for second. He might try for third. He will try for third. The throw is not in time. 2-out triple. Nick McAdon out of the 9-hole. How about it? Got a hold of one, and I've talked about it multiple times on the broadcasts, how that wall curves awkwardly down the line. And it took a very odd carom away from the Boone left fielder, Justin Reed, who thought it would bounce straight to him. Instead, it bounced to the right. And now some discussion from the third base dugout. It was definitely fair, not by much, but it kicked up chalk. D. Hawthorne will try and drive McAdon in with 2 down. The pitch goes behind him for ball one. Maybe a little unsettled after the 2-out triple. One-oh count to Big D. Hawthorne. On the upper half of the zone, and he gets the call as Dooley for strike one. Cannot afford to leave McAdon standing 90 feet away, especially the way this game seems to be going on the mound for both guys. 1-1. That is hit up the middle, off the glove of Dooley, And the throw is in time to get Hawthorne. So despite the 2-out triple from McAdon, he's left stranded on the 1-4 ground out.
Happy birthday to the man.
And that will end the fourth inning. The third inning, excuse me. On to the fourth here in Winston-Salem, still scoreless. Back here in Winston-Salem, Colin Kennedy back on the mound for his fourth inning of work. Looking to keep it scoreless against the 2-3-4 hitters for Boone. Justin Reed leads it off for the Bigfoots and takes down on the way ball one. Reed's the guy that can get this offense going. We've seen it from him time and time again, and he takes a pitch on the outer edge for strike one. Good fastball that time from Kennedy to get back even in the count. The 1-1 coming, breaking ball down on the way, misses in the dirt, 2-1. Reed struck out looking his first time up. One of 3 strikeouts on the ledger thus far for Kennedy. And just misses outside with that fastball. It's ball 3. But just the second time in the ball game that he is, or excuse me, the third time in the ball game he's gone to a 3-ball count. Here it comes the 3-1. That's over the inner half, beautifully painted for strike 2. He is locating the fastball exactly where he wants to so far. Control has been exceptional on it. 3-2 is a fastball up and in. He jams Reed on the ground to second. And Dino Tharp will make the play for out number 1 in the fourth. Great pitch on there, up and in. It's a wonder for Reed the bat didn't shatter. Mid-90s up and in like that off the hands. And now in steps Braden Odom, who's got the only hit for the Bigfoots this evening. The double into the gap, but he was left stranded back in the first inning. (1-0). That's hammered out to center again, but this time it's right at D. Hawthorne, who settles under it to make the play for out number 2. So solid contact from Odom in both at-bats thus far. This time not as fortunate as the last, as the first 2 are retired in Boone's half of the fourth inning. Here's Tyson Bass, who struck out swinging with Odom at second back in the first inning. The pitch to him is a breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball 1. Kennedy up to 53 pitches, but say fairly efficient from what we've seen control-wise from him thus far. Pitch number 54 is fouled off at the plate, 1-1. Bass, the Wilson, North Carolina native, product of North Carolina Wesleyan College. One. Misses down and away for ball 2. Wilson, North Carolina, home to one of the better teams in the Coastal Plain League, the Wilson Tops. Two-one from Kennedy. Hard hit on the ground through the hole at short, and that'll be a base hit. Second two-out hit in the first 4 innings now for Boone, as Bass got a fastball middle in and did not mess around with it. So it's a 2-out single for him, and it'll bring up Walter Monday, who grounded out to short his first time. Hitting 5th in the order, which is rare for him. Both times we've seen him, he's either hit leadoff or hit 9th. But he's got pop. Tried to show it right there and then some, as a big hack is fouled back for strike 1. Monday, the Lexington, Kentucky native, but not from the University of Kentucky, from Transylvania University, rather. And an 0-1 now from Kennedy from the stretch is hit in the air to shallow left. Kohler coming on. He will settle under it to make the play, and that will retire the side. Scoreless 4 innings pitched now for Colin Kennedy, and Carolina will look to get him some run support in the bottom half after this. Back here in Winston-Salem, it'll be Kix Farrell to lead things off for Carolina in the home half of the 4th. Looking to get the bats going and help out Colin Kennedy on the mound with some run support, but Matthew Dooley is matching pitch for pitch with Kennedy and gets ahead of Kix Farrell for strike 1. St. Laurent on deck, the 0-1 to Farrell, misses outside, 1-1. Farrell's had a great start to the homestand. Looking to keep it going here. That 1-1 on the ground is short. Fielded cleanly by Logan West, and the throw on to first is in time for out number 1. So another ground out on the ledger. Going to bring in Austin St. Laurent.
Number 12, Austin St. Laurent.
First pitch to him. Looked good from up here, but it misses just inside for ball one. One and 0 the count. That's in the air to center. Well hit, but he got under it. And the play will be made by Braden Odom, and it's a quick out, number 2. So the line continues to move, but in the wrong direction for Carolina, as Logan Conklin will stand in.
Number 6, Logan Conklin.
As the Disco Turkeys try and get the offense rolling. Been a struggle for both sides offensively thus far. Just 3 hits combined through 4 2/3 for both squads. Conklin a big swing and a miss at that one for strike 1. Oh, and 1 the count. Here it comes. That is over the inside corner somehow. And Conklin disagrees, and I can't blame him. It's strike 2. Oh, and 2 coming. Conklin swings and does a great job just to make contact and foul that one off. Encouragement from head coach Kirk Cabana over at third base. Oh, 2 to Conklin. Swinging a ground ball on to second. On 2 hops, the play is made by David Julian, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 again, go the Disco Turkeys. We're through 4, scoreless in Winston-Salem. Back here in Winston-Salem, Brett Wiseman alongside you. Top half of the 5th inning, and it's been a pitcher's duel up to this point as Colin Kennedy misses low and away, ball 1. Pitch number 59 for him on the afternoon/evening. And that misses outside now, 2-0. It's Logan Lex, the first baseman for Boone, that's going to lead it off, who struck out looking his first time up and takes down and in for ball 3. And it's a 3-0 count to Lex to start the 5th. Not the way Kennedy wanted to start this at-bat or inning. The 3-0 is low ball 4, and it's a very quick 4-pitch walk. And a leadoff base runner right off the bat for Boone. So Lex reaches on the 4-pitch walk, and it brings up Miguel Abascal, who grounded out to second his first time up. Put together a really good at-bat, though. 10 pitches. Kennedy from the stretch. In the dirt, it gets behind Newman to the backstop. And Lex now in scoring position with nobody out. First scored wild pitch from Kennedy so far tonight. Looking to fade the first run of the ball game for either side. A check on the runner at second. Here comes the 1-0. Big swing and a miss by Abascal for strike 1. Kennedy has been very efficient thus far. In his first start as a disco turkey. Here comes the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big strike 2 right there. It'll be a big first out if he can finish this off. Abascal, one of the bigger bats in this Boone lineup. The designated hitter tonight for the Bigfoots. But a runner in scoring position for him. Check on the runner at second, the 1-2. That's well hit out to right down the line and foul out of play towards the picnic area. Didn't miss extra bases by much right there, did Abascal, but he stays alive, and he'll see another 1-2. This kid knows how to fight at the plate. As we said, 10-pitch AB his last time up. And that's a mentality that earns the respect of not only your teammates, but the pitcher on the mound who knows he's got to come after you. And a throw back to second just to keep Lex honest. First pickoff move we've seen from Kennedy so far tonight, and a pretty quick one at that, especially to second. It's a 1-2 count to Abascal. Breaky ball in the dirt. It gets away from Newman, and now Lex up to third with nobody out. So 90 feet away is the first run of the ball game. As now a fly ball even will score him. A fly ball, a ground ball. Any ball in play, really, unless it's a pop-up, should be good enough to score him. That's in the air to right. This should be deep enough. Stewart back, makes the catch. He'll crow hop and throw on. The throw's going to be cut off by Conklin. And that will be the first run of the ball game for either side. It's a sacrifice fly for Abascal. And Boone's on the board. It's 1-0. So as usual, when you surrender a leadoff walk, 9 times out of 10 it's going to come around to score, and that's exactly what happened. Lex, a 4-pitch leadoff walk. Another really good at-bat from Abascal yields a sac fly, and now Chance Campbell on with nobody on and 1 out, who pops that one up to the left side and out of play. Kennedy mentally now has no traffic to worry about, so he can just come right after Campbell, who narrowly missed a home run in his first at-bat. 0-1 to him is low for ball one. He made very solid contact out to left, but he got caught up in the wind that's blowing in from left field, and he looks at ball two. And Kennedy will grab some rosin behind the mound and try and regroup here. With the count 2-1. That's well hit out to center field. Hawthorne, though, will be there to make the play as he got under it once again. So 2 flyouts for him on the ledger thus far, and it's out number 2. D. Hawthorne has had to be active out there in center field thus far and has done a pretty good job. His second start of the year in center field. His only other previous start was as the designated hitter. He's also coming to pitch twice. Going to bring in Logan West, the 9-hole hitter and the shortstop, who takes ball one outside. Back to the top of the order if he can get on, as David Julian is on deck. West flew out to right his first time up. Made good contact, though, as he got it just short of the warning track, and he's ahead in the count now, 2-0. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Got the fastball by him. It was actually foul tipped, I believe, but Newman held on to it, so nonetheless, it's strike one. Here comes the 2-1. That's over the inside corner, strike two. Good pitch. Trying to get out of this with only the 1 run surrendered. Kennedy's 2-2. In the air to right center. That's carrying, and Stewart will get over to make the catch, and that will retire the side. Boone puts up 1 in the top half of the 5th. Halfway through this one in Winston-Salem, Carolina looks to get some traffic on the base pass and try and get on the scoreboard when we come back. Back here at Truist Stadium in beautiful downtown Winston-Salem, a beautiful Saturday night in the 336 as it's Disco Turkey Baseball. Brett Wiseman alongside you. Dino Tharp steps in now, and he will try and get the offense going for the Disco Turkeys, and he takes inside ball one. Just 1 hit on the scorecard so far for Carolina. And 5 strikeouts from Dooley, as that's on the ground to short. Logan West charges, makes the play on a hop, and it's a very quick out number 1. Efficiency has been the key for Matthew Dooley thus far, as just 46 pitches now through 5 1/3. And that'll bring up Trey Newman, hitting in the 6th spot in the Carolina lineup. He's trying to get it going at the plate, not only for this ball club tonight, but for him individually. As here's the pitch from Dooley. It's over the inside corner, strike one. I mean, he has been absolutely living on the inner half of the plate with that fastball. And Carolina cannot figure it out. 0-1. Big swing and a miss, a breaking ball that fluttered up there and then fell off the table. And Newman shaking his head at it. 0-2. Here comes the 0-2. Newman swings and fouls that one back, and he'll stay alive. Dooley's pitch count compared to Kennedy's for Carolina, Kennedy doubled what Dooley has produced on the mound, as he has been more than efficient. 0-2. Just missed. A good frame job behind the plate by Chance Campbell, but not good enough to convince our home plate umpire. It's 1-2. Shadows now covering the third base side of the infield as well as home plate. Here's the 1-2. That's lined into right center. That'll drop in for a base hit. Oh, it's a one-out hit from Trey Newman, and maybe that'll get something started here. Just the second hit of the night. Macedon's triple back in the third inning, and he was left stranded.
Next up, left fielder, number 50, Henry Kohler.
Here's Henry Kohler now. He takes strike one over the inner half. Good pitch that broke across the upper half of the zone and then caught the inner half. Kohler, the only lefty in the lineup for Carolina, on the ground towards second. This could be two. On the second for one. Throw back to first, not in time. So score at a fielder's choice. 4-6-3.
The batter's right fielder, number 14, Dane Stewart.
A two-out base runner, though, still for Dane Stewart, the Demon Deacon product. Dooley back to the bump and misses out and away, ball one. Nick Macedon is on deck. The way he's swinging it right now, it'd be good if they can get him to the plate. 1-0. Misses down in the dirt in front of the plate, actually. Ball two. A good start to the at-bat for Dane Stewart. Find a gap and maybe get Trey Newman home from first, who is checked on by Dooley and back safely. Newman, for a catcher, pretty fleet of foot. So got to keep an eye on him. Good secondary lead from him, and Stewart takes the big hack on 2-0, and all he can do is foul it off towards the third base dugout for strike one. Big spot here. Bottom five, two out, 2-1. On the outer half for strike two. Not a bad take from Dane. He probably rolls over that one if he sees it well enough, but did a good job to lay off of it, and the count is even now, 2-2. Dooley set. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He got him swinging. So Carolina strands yet another. They get the one-out hit, but Trey Newman is left stranded. And they trail 1-0 after 5 here in Winston-Salem. Back here at Truist Stadium in downtown Winston-Salem. Hey, Ostentation Nation, visit the Foul Territory Team store today in order to grab all your favorite Carolina Disco Turkey merchandise to show your team spirit. You can visit the team store at Truist Stadium during our next home game or at discoturkeys.com. 0-1 is the count to David Julian as we start the sixth inning here in the 3-3-6. Colin Kennedy remains on the mound at 78 pitches into his sixth inning of work, and that is on the ground up the middle. Going to be a tough play, and it'll make its way through. A base hit for Julian. Takes a wide turn at first, throw back, not in time. Oh, boy. There may be an argument that he did not touch first, or that he was out on the throw back. There was a lot of pointing going on. And that'll at least be taken into consideration from our umpiring crew. We'll await the call with bated breath. He's out. And now we're going to get a discussion here from Ryan Smoot, the head coach of the Boone Bigfoots. Understandably frustrated with the call, but it looked like the right one. He's starting to get a little bit animated here. I haven't seen too many fun head coach umpire arguments so far. This might be it. And you could see the Carolina infielders were pointing back to first base as if Julian missed it to begin with. He took a wide turn before it was fielded and then decided to double back. And the call will remain the same. Julian's out, so there's one down. So score it as a single. And then a 7-4 to 3 put out. Once we've got that settled in, Justin Reed stands in. He takes ball one. Reed 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out looking back in the first and grounded out to second last time up. And he hits that one hard down the left field line, but foul, and the count evens 1-1. One from Kennedy. Breaking ball beautifully put on the inside corner for strike two. Kennedy trying to build off the momentum of that last call. 1-2 misses upstairs. Good pitch, though. 2-2. He's now up over the 80-pitch plateau at 83. Here's number 84, and it's a fastball that's not even close. In fact, it didn't even get to the plate, and it's 3-2 now. Julian will grab some rosin, get some grip back on the baseball, and back on the rubber for the 3-2. That's well hit into center field. Hawthorne on his horse, dives in. Wait a minute, nope, that's Dion Tubbs. My bad. Dion Tubbs makes a diving, sliding catch in center field. His first action so far. And now Ryan Smoot is gone. He's been tossed. Smoot has seen enough I don't know what he's arguing about. He's still upset about the call. I don't know if he said the ball had been trapped in center maybe, but he has lost it. And he is letting our umpiring crew have it and giving the fans a show to boot. He's getting his money's worth. He's still barking. Well, his dugout seems to like it. And he's on his way to the road clubhouse. Our Hoplite umpire will make that mark down in his scorebook, as will I. It didn't appear by any stretch that ball was trapped. Maybe just frustration boiling over. It's a fly out to center in the scorebook. It's out number 2. But Ryan Smoot is gone for the ball game. First managerial ejection we've seen this summer. We knew he would at some point. Sorry Graham Tuck wasn't here to see it. That's absolutely laced down the right field line. It's into the corner. It'll one hop off the wall. Braden Odom's on his horse. He's past second. He's on his way to third. He's in there with a stand-up triple to get the Boone dugout up and going now with 2 down. So a double and a triple for Odom on the ledger thus far. He's 2 for 3. And Tyson Bass will step in now. And Smoot has his backpack on. And he might just be going up to the stands to watch the rest of the game as Bass swings and misses and looks skyward for strike 1. Yeah, he's just heading up into the stands. Well, that or he's leaving, one of the two. Either way, he's not in the ball game anymore as the head coach. Ball gets away, it bounces off home plate, and it's 2-0. And the Boone fans that made the trip, as well as the third base dugout, on their feet making some noise as it's a wild pitch that will score Odom 2-0. Not what the doctor ordered. Momentum has shifted back and forth just in this half inning alone, and it's 2-1 now. No action still in the Carolina bullpen, as Kennedy is now up to his 90th pitch, which is on the way. Down 3-1. I would expect at some point here for action at least you'd think. 3-1. Popped up. Might be playable behind home plate. Trey Newman will give it a look, and it'll hop over the netting and into the crowd, and the count is full, 3-2. Three-two pitch, misses away, ball 4, and it's a 2-out walk now. And now Kirk Cabana is going to come out to the mound, and there's no action in the bullpen, so this, I wouldn't think any more than a mound visit. Nope, now we've got movement. Chase Jesse, it appears maybe. I see a sleeve. Nope, that's on the right arm. Can't be him. We'll get a number for you in a moment. It's number 37 for Carolina, who we don't have listed. And that is indeed going to do it for Colin Kennedy. A very good outing in his first start as a disco turkey. He will leave with the runner at first, his responsibility, and a new pitcher will enter the ball game for Carolina. Kennedy will finish through 5 2/3. 4 hits given up, both runs earned, no errors behind him. And just the 1 walk surrendered. He struck out 5.
Number 37, Harrison Lewis.
It is Harrison Lewis that is on for Carolina, the son of pitching coach A.J. Lewis, we've been informed. Harrison Lewis is just graduated from West Forsyth High School and is eligible to play as a college committee and committed to Wake Forest. A.J. Lewis is on the top step of the dugout, watching with bated breath, I would say. The first pitch from Harrison Lewis is in for strike 1. His father, A.J., is on the top step of the dugout and watching as a proud father at that as he pours in strike 2. Oh, and 2 is the count. That is hard hit up the middle, but right to the second baseman, Dino Tharp, who throws on to first to make the play for out number 3. So a good job by Harrison Lewis to get the third out of the 6th, but the damage done, the 1 run across after what was an eventful top half of the 6th. To the bottom we go. Carolina will try to mount a comeback when we come back. Back here at Truist Stadium in Winston-Salem, Nick McAdon leads it off for Carolina. And that's strike one to Nick McAdon. It's a 1-1 count. Boone without their head coach now, Ryan Smoot, was ejected from the ball game in the top half of this inning after a controversial play at first base and then a diving catch by Dion Tubbs, and now a swing by McAdon will be strike two, a half swing at that, but a swing nonetheless. That's in the dirt and through the legs of the Boone backstop. It'll even the count at 2-2. McAdon, liner towards first, scooped up by Logan Lex, who makes the play for out number one. Back to the top of the order now, and it's Dion Tubbs making his first appearance of the afternoon/evening. Took over in center field in the top half of the sixth inning and made a wonderful catch that Ryan Smoot thought was trapped. And that is all the way to the backstop now. From Matthew Dooley. Here it comes. Did he swing at it? I don't know, but either way, it caught our home plate umpire right on the right hand, and that smarts. It came more than up and in on Dion, and it was more self-defense than I think him trying to make contact, and it whacked our home plate umpire right on the right hand. He's flexing it out. He'll shake it off, and hopefully he can stay in the ball game. Umpires are tough, too. They get yelled at and all that jazz as he did in the top half of the inning, and then he gets whacked on the hand with a foul ball, wild pitch, whatever it was, in the bottom half. And he will step back in behind the catcher like nothing happened. It is a strike. It appeared Dion swung, and they did rule it as such. It's 1-1. First at bat for him tonight. Dion trying to bunt his way on, and he did offer. Couldn't get it down, though, and it's 1-2. Can close the book on D. Hawthorne then. He struck out and then grounded out in both at-bats. The 1-2 from Dooley to Dion Tubbs. Misses outside, 2-2. A good spot, though, for Dooley to live on. That misses inside, nearly caught him on the front foot, but the count goes full, 3-2. At this point, down 2, you almost have to operate like there's 2 outs in every at-bat. You got to battle and find a way to get on here. 3-2 is hard hit to short, but right at Logan West. Dion hustling all the way, he beats the throw, and it gets behind and goes out of play. So Dion will be awarded second base. So we'll score that a single and an E6. That'll allow him to reach second with 1 out. And that guy on the base pass is a problem. Kicks Farrell with a chance to drive him in here if he can find a gap somewhere. And finally get Carolina on the board. Dion Might not have beaten the throw, but with his speed, he forced a quicker play. And that's in for strike one as Kix Farrell showed bunt and then pulled back. Austin St. Laurent on deck if one of them can reach. Farrell tried to bunt. Did he pull back? No. It hit him, but the base umpire says he offered at it. It looked like he pulled it back. But that call goes the way of the Bigfoots. I mean, it's almost self-defense at that point. It's hard enough to pull it back, but it looked like he did. 0-2. That, I believe he went around on, and he did at strike three. So Farrell down swinging on a couple of questionable check swings, to say the least, and that's out number 2 in the inning. Austin St. Laurent now looking to avoid stranding the second runner in scoring position tonight. Dion bluffs the blow. It's hit out to center and right to the center fielder, Braden Odom, who makes the catch to retire the side. Carolina strands their third runner of the night, the second in scoring position. Harrison Lewis back to the mound for the 7th after this. Harrison Lewis back to the mound as he goes up and in on Logan Lex. And that is up and in, and it hits Lex. He's not too happy about it. So the first base runner against Lewis in his second inning of work now. And that'll bring up Miguel Abascal. And a good pitch right there to get strike one on Abascal after the hit by pitch. to start the inning. Lewis' first appearance this year. He will check on the runner. And Lex goes. The pitch swung on and hit hard to third, kicked by Farrell. And that's going to allow Lex on the hit and run to reach third with nobody out. Action in the Boone bullpen now. As Abascal reaches on the E5. Chance Campbell, the catcher, up. Jasper Dubberly is warming up for Boone in the bullpen, and that's well hit down the right field line, but also well foul. It's 1-1. No action behind Lewis in the Carolina pen. A check on the runner at first, and Lewis will step off. The intensity wrapping up here in Winston-Salem. 0-1, up and in, ball one. One and one, the count to Campbell. Runner goes for second. Throw up, and no throw down. The pitch misses up and in. 2-1, the count now. Two in scoring position with nobody out. And we'll credit that a defensive indifference, as there was no throw down from Newman. Good jump by Abascal. Now a base hit could score two. And Campbell calls time. Two-1 is swung on and missed. Good velo that time from the youngster Lewis to even the count now at 2-2. He's got the sign he wants from the stretch. It's to be a big first out if he can get it. And that is hammered out to deep left field. On his horse is Caleb Smith. He's not going to get there. It'll one hop off the warning track. 2 runs are going to score, and it's 4-0 Boone, who have certainly brought quite a crowd with them this evening. And the struggles against this ball club continue at home this time. A 2-run double and still trouble. A man at scoring position still with nobody out. And Logan West to the plate. Pitch misses upstairs, ball one. Makes it even tougher to come back now. 1-0. Swing and a miss, strike one. Big time fastball that time from Lewis. Carolina trying to avoid splitting for the first 5 on this homestand. We'll be back with you again tomorrow afternoon, and the Greensboro Monarchs will return to town as they were here last night. That pitch is in there, strike two. Well executed fastball right at the knees that time from Lewis. Trying to get what would be a pretty big first out. Be damage control from here on out. That is fouled off the mask of Trey Newman, and he's a bit shaken up. Collects himself, and our home plate umpire, as is custom, when the catcher gets plunked with a foul ball, will make his way out to the mound and give our pitcher a new round of baseballs. Logan West will step back in the box here. Frustrating one again tonight so far for the Disco Turkeys. Check on the runner. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Big time fastball. It's foul tipped into the mid, actually, of Newman. Nonetheless, it goes down as a strikeout swinging for out number 1. And that will bring in David Julian. As I said, the key now for Lewis is just to limit the damage. Cannot allow any more to cross here. That is over the outside edge. Really good breaking ball from strike 1. It seems to be settling in now. 4 runs, 5 hits, and the 1 error for Boone. 0-4-1, the line score for Carolina. 0-1. Big breaking ball and a perfectly placed one at that. 0-2. Oh, and 2 the count to the Bigfoot second baseman. Lewis from the stretch. Inside corner, got him looking. Beautiful pitch that time as it's a backwards K for out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts, big ones from Lewis. Trying to keep the scoreboard right where it is. And Justin Reed will stand in for the Bigfoots. The runner still in scoring position at second with 2 down. First pitch to him, and he's well behind that fastball. And they heard the pop of that mid all the way over at the apartment complex down 5th Street. High velo that time from Harrison Lewis. A check on the runner at second. The 0-1. Up and away, ball 1. Throw back to second. They had him, but the ball popped out of St. Laurent's glove. Newman caught Chance Campbell leaning and then some. Threw back to second. Had him by a step, but the ball popped out of St. Laurent's glove on the tag. So no out. 1-1 did not miss by much. It's 2-1. That could shift the momentum of the inning. 2-1. Yep, there you go. 3-1 the count now. It's amazing how that works, isn't it? Gets so close to what looks like a sure out. The ball pops out of the mitt. And now it's a 3-1 count with a guy at second and 2 down. Popped up, left side. Farrell on his horse. Newman has the best view of it, and he can't make the play in foul territory. It took a dive back. So it's a foul ball and strike 2 and a full count. And a big pitch in this ball game. Lewis from the stretch. Here comes the 3-2. Up and in, ball 4. And it's a 2-out walk. So first and second now with 2 down. Brings in Braden Odom, who has done more than his fair share offensively. Doubled and tripled thus far. It also flied out to center. First pitch to him. Strike 1 over the outside corner. This is almost a must out at this point. A 1. Same spot, different call, 1-1. First one was a fastball. The second a breaking ball in pretty much the exact same spot. One's a strike and one's a ball. Go figure. 1-1. Hit in the air down the left side, but foul and out of play. Going to make it 1-2. Boone has had Carolina's number all year, and that trend continuing tonight. As 1-2 is the count, with a 4-0 lead in the 7th. Here comes. Strike 3 called. Big time fastball there from Lewis as he painted the inside corner to get the strikeout and leave 2 stranded. But the damage already done. Boone pushes across 2 more. They extend the lead to 4-0 as it's stretch time in Winston-Salem. Logan Conklin steps in as Carolina will look to mount a comeback here against Matthew Dooley and the Boone Bigfoots, who hold a 4-0 lead as we start the 7th inning. 9 outs to get 4 runs, and that clock starts with ball 1. Dooley's 1-0 misses inside, 2-0. Just a 73rd pitch from him tonight, as he's been more than efficient thus far. 2-0 to Conklin. Misses down, 3-0 the count now. Be big if he can get on here with a leadoff walk and hopefully, finally get this line moving. (3-0). Upstairs, ball forward. It's a leadoff walk. To Logan Conklin. And that'll bring up Dino Tharp. Hopefully, this is the breakthrough. Big swing from Dino, and he can do nothing but whiff it. It's 0-1. Swinging for the downs right there to try and get him back in the ball game. Newman is on deck. Tharp swings and fouls that one back. It's 0-2. You got to keep the approach simple here if you're Dino. 0-2. On the ground up the middle. It's fielded at second. A 4-6-3 double play to kill any sort of momentum that was gained from that leadoff walk. My goodness. Well, now Trey Newman will try and get a 2-out rally going.
The catcher, number 5, Trey Newman.
Henry Kohler's on deck. And that's in there for strike one to Newman. Pitch number 80 coming from Matthew Dooley on this next offering through 6 2/3. Inside, ball one. Well, comebacks in this ballpark are no stranger to Carolina. On the opposite side of it yesterday, but the opener a few weeks ago was the walk-off, and that misses down and away, 2-1 in the dirt. Dooley trying to get through 7 scoreless as he has stymied Carolina offensively, just surrendering 4 hits through that 6 2/3. 2-1. On the outside corner, called strike 2. Kurt Cabana has the rally jacket on over at third. Time is called by Newman as he'll try and regroup and find a way to get on. Down, even 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Dooley through 7 scoreless. And Boone has a 4-0 lead as we head to the 8th in Winston-Salem. Back here in Winston-Salem. Brett Wiseman alongside you. Boone Bigfoots holding a 4-0 lead over the Carolina Disco Turkeys as Harrison Lewis back to the mound for his third inning of work. Yields a big swing and a miss. From Tyson Bass for strike one, and he takes ball one now. Bass has struck out twice and also singled in the ball game. Two and one is the count now to Bass. He swings and hammers one out to deep left. Smith started back, now has to double back in as it got caught up in the wind and makes a fine lunging catch out in left field. Nicely done, Caleb Smith. Solid contact out to straightaway left, but as the wind has been blowing in from left all night, we've seen that happen a couple of times. Caleb Smith started back, remember, not an outfielder by trade. Started back and had to double back in to make the catch for out number one. And now Walter Monday will step in and takes a pitch in the dirt towards his feet for ball one. That is in there, strike one to Monday from Harrison Lewis, son of pitching coach A.J. Lewis, who by day is a private practice OBGYN, as well as the pitching coach here for the Disco Turkeys as Walter Monday fouls that one back. It's a 1-2 count. Good crowd here tonight in Winston-Salem. Not as good on the scoreboard for Carolina. 0-2, swung on and missed by Monday. The tag applied by Newman, and there's out number two. Good stuff there from Lewis. Logan Lex, the first baseman, steps in now. He had the leadoff walk and then came around to score on the sacrifice fly. He shows bunt and wisely pulls back and takes ball one. One and 0 from Lewis. Shows bunt again, pops it up into foul territory, and that'll be strike one. One and one is the count. Swing and a miss by Lex on a fastball. It's 1-2. Lewis has done the job so far, despite the two earned on the double by Campbell. 1-2. On the outside corner, got him looking. Good stuff, Harrison Lewis. The backwards K ends the inning and retires the side for Boone. Carolina has 6 outs to get 4 runs. That clock begins when we come back. Back here in Winston-Salem, Brett Wiseman alongside you. Brendan Hoftalen of Lynchburg University has taken the mound for the Boone Bigfoots. You can close the book on Matthew Dooley as he gets strike one to Henry Kohler to lead off for Carolina. That is in there for strike two. Pounding the inside corner, you can close the book, as I said, on Dooley. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, the 1 error behind him, no runs given up. And Kohler takes in the dirt for ball 1. Nine strikeouts on the ledger for Dooley. Impressive stuff. And he surrendered just the 1 walk. Strike 3 called to Kohler, and that's out number 1. And now you can count it down to 5 outs. As Kohler is caught looking to start the 8th. Not the way Carolina wanted it to. The Boone Bigfoots have had their number this season, and the trend is continuing thus far tonight. Caleb Smith, who came in left field. Henry Kohler moved to right. So Smith takes Dane Stewart's spot in the batting order and takes strike 1 over the inner half. Smith hitting .259 on the year. Takes a big hack at that breaking ball and misses for strike 2. And Bryson Beber has now stepped into the on-deck circle. Presumably to take the 9 spot and DH role from Nick McKedon. Or Macadon, excuse me. Caleb Smith, the infield-outfield combo from UNC Greensboro, product of Simon G. Atkins High School here in Winston-Salem. One, two. Down and away, and he's worked the count back even now at 2-2. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 8th. Brendan Hoftalen trying to get this thing to the 9th with the scoreboard sticking right where it is. 2-2 hit on the ground up the first base line, fielded by Logan Lex. He'll step on the bag for an easy out number 2. Now the frustrations offensively continue. There's now 4 outs left for Boone to close this thing out. And Bryson Beber will try and get something going here for Carolina. Beber hitting .257 so far this season. He's got 5 hits to his credit. The first baseman out of Surrey Community College takes ball 1 just off the outside corner of the plate. Beber hammers one down the left field line. Will it stay fair? No. It had home run distance, but it goes foul for strike 1. At the very least, a souvenir for some young fans out there on the grassy hill above the 315 marker down the left field line. Solid contact that time from Beber. A good sign. 1-1. Inside corner, got it, strike 2. That was a good pitch from Brendan Hoftalen, who's a two-way guy himself. 1-2 the count to Beber. In the dirt, 2-2. Boone put 1 across in the 5th, 1 across in the 6th, and 2 across in the 7th. And hold a 4-0 lead. 2-2. Down and away, 3-2 now. And Beber has worked the count full. Dion Tubbs on deck should Beber reach. And a 2-out base runner would give some semblance of life to that first base dugout. 3-2. Into shallow center, that might drop, and it will. It's a base hit. Beber will take the turn at first and stop there. His 6th hit on the year. So it's a 2-out base runner. Close the book on Nick Macedon at the plate, the triple and the ground out. So he's 1 for 2. And now Dion Tubbs will step in. Trying to keep the inning alive. Dion Singleton reached on an error, his only plate appearance. That pitch misses outside for ball 1, and the throw back to Beber. Or was that a strike? Yep, that was a strike. He missed it on the scoreboard. It's 0-1. Dion takes in the dirt ball 1. Off-tailing, as we told you, out of Lynchburg College. Very fine D2 university, which shares its beautiful town with that of Liberty. And that is down and in towards the feet of Dion Tubbs. 2-1. Tubbs out of McKendree College. The speedster and do-it-all guy for this team offensively and defensively, hitting .212 on the year. But 9 for 11 on stolen base opportunities. 2-1. Up and away, ball 3. Hitters count for Tubbs. He's the only guy on the roster with more than 1 triple. 6 guys have 1 triple. He's the only one with 2. 3-1. Down and in, ball 4. And it's another 2-out base runner. And now Kix Farrell will step in. So a walk to Dion will put him at first. Beber will advance to second. 2 on, 2 out. First time all game, Carolina has had more than 1 base runner. Which is saying something. And Kix Farrell will now try to keep the inning alive. First pitch to him. That's over the inside corner, strike 1. Not a bad take, though. See if he can get one in his wheelhouse here or drive it. Should Farrell find a way to get on, Austin St. Laurent stands on deck. That's over the outside corner, strike 2. And Kix Farrell is down in the count now, 0-2, trying to avoid stranding the 4th and 5th runners of the night for Carolina. 0-2. Down and away. Good waste pitch, 1-2. A couple of 2-out base runners, the single by Beber and then the walk to Tubbs. Have Farrell choking up on the bat, behind in the count, 1-2. Both runners take their leads, 1-2. Fouled back, good swing though. Hoftailen came up with the heat, and Farrell did a good job just to make contact on it and put a pretty good swing on it at that. So he will once again choke up on the bat with 2 down and 2 on. And a spot that could very well pretty much decide this one. 1-2. Popped up, foul again, back to the screen, and Farrell will see another one. Austin St. Laurent, as we said, on deck. Should Farrell reach, St. Laurent represents the tying run. And as always in a comeback scenario, you want to get that to the plate. Up and in, ball 2. Really good eye that time by Kix Farrell. Deuce is wild. 2 on, 2 out. And a 2-2 count to number 27 in white. Here it comes from Hoftalen. Flared out to shallow center. Should be playable, and it is. And the threat goes for naught. 2 more stranded for Carolina. The 4th and 5th of the night. It's another scoreless inning for Boone. We go to the 9th with the Bigfoots leading 4-0. Back here at Truist Stadium. 9th inning underway. Cameron Kime has taken the mound for Carolina. The Greensboro College product out of McDonough, Georgia. It's the only outing of the season other than that was against Martinsville on June the 5th. Gave up 6 hits and 3 earned in 2 2/3 innings pitched. Third pitcher of the night for Carolina. And it's Miguel Abascal that leads it off now for Boone and is behind in the count 0-1. Swing and a miss and a fastball up and at his eyes, 0-2. Kime fortunate he got him to go after that one. Did him a favor. Abascal will step back into the box. And hit one out to right field. That's well hit. On his horse is Kohler to make a nice running catch for out number 1. It's a big-time first out for Cameron Kime. And that'll bring up Chance Campbell, who had the 2 RBI double. His last time up in the 7th that broke this thing open for the Bigfoots. Other than that, he's flown out twice. 1 for 2. 1 for 3, inside ball 1. Bigfoot backstop awaits the 1-0 from Keim. Misses outside, 2-0. Keim's objective, simple. Keep more runs from scoring for Boone and get this thing to the bottom half of the ninth with the deficit right where it is. 2-0. Hit well into the gap in left center, and that's going to get down and be cut off by Caleb Smith well, and that'll hold Campbell to a single, his second hit of the night, but that very easily could have been two. Caleb Smith, to his credit, took a very good angle to that ball in the gap and will hold Campbell to a single, and more importantly than that, keep the double play in order with one down. Logan West will stand in now for his fourth at-bat. Struck out swinging and flied out twice. Over the outside corner, good pitch from Keim for strike one. Like what I'm seeing form-wise in the delivery from number 22 in his second appearance of the summer for Carolina. Here comes the 0-1. On the ground to third. This could be two. Farrell on to second for one. On to first. Not in time. West uses the speed nicely and beats it out. So score at a fielder's choice, 5-4-3. And West will be at first with two down as the lineup card will flip back over once more. And David Julian will step in. He's 1 for 3 today, or 1 for 4 today. This is his fifth at-bat. Takes up an in-ball one, throw back to first, and West able to double back. Julian grounded out, struck out swinging, singled, and then was thrown out on that controversial play in which he missed first base, took a wide turn, tried to go to second as that's up and in for ball two. Was originally called safe, and then the call reversed after discussion between the umpires that drew vitriol and disagreement to a high degree from Ryan Smoot, the head coach for Boone, who then two batters later was ejected. 2-0. Up and in, 3-0. And Keim's got to settle down here. It's an important out to get. (3-0) in there for strike one, and Julian had already tossed the bat and headed to first. That was at the knees. A well-placed fastball right at the knees. And now Keim will try and get back in this one. Good fastball outside corner, strike two. And he's battled back to work the count full with two good fastballs. One at the knees and that one right over the outer edge. Full count now with two down in the top half of the ninth. Keim from the stretch. The 3-2. Runner goes. On the ground towards second. Diving stop. Logan Conklin. Race to the bag. Got him! Logan Conklin with a fantastic play to retire the side. Carolina, though, has some work to do in the bottom half of the ninth. Trailing by 4. It could be decided, or it might not. It could be comeback time, too. Find out next. Bottom half of the ninth set to get underway. And Austin St. Laurent will look to rally the troops as Carolina trails by 4. In there, strike one from Brendan Hoftalen, who after a scoreless bottom half of the 8th is trying to close this thing out. That's in there, strike two. Oh, 2 to St. Laurent. Popped up. Behind the plate. Might be playable. It is not. It's on top of the awning above the Flow Club, and that'll be a foul ball, and St. Laurent will stay alive. For the moment, at least. St. Laurent hammers one down the right field line. That's going to get down. St. Laurent on his horse. It's fielded in right by Monday to throw to second. Not in time. It's a leadoff double for Austin St. Laurent. A good sign from him. And a runner in scoring position right off the bat. Boone's got more action in the bullpen. Should Hoftalen run into some trouble. And here's Logan Conklin now, who has struggled at the plate, which is a rarity for him. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. He struck out and grounded out and then had the walk his last time up and was left stranded. That hit him. And he's pretty fired up about it, too. Hey, wouldn't you? I mean, you're on base. Now the tying run comes on deck for the second straight inning. And Dino Tharp stands in. With first and second, nobody out.
Number 17, Dino Tharp.
Need something big from Dino. St. Laurent is dancing out there at second. Dino fouls that one back on a hanging breaking ball, 0-1. And here we go, Turkey's chant. Crowd getting involved, I like it. 0-1. Tharp through the hole, right side, base hit. St. Laurent's going to get the wave. Monday's throw is going to be cut off. Carolina's on the board 4-1. Big time hit from Dino Tharp. And now that's going to do it for Hoftalen. Still 2 on with nobody out. And now the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Trey Newman after the pitching change. I would assume. Nope. Hoftalen's going to stay out there. As the wave has broken out at Truist Stadium. A bit disconjointed, but I appreciate the effort. Trey Newman steps in, representing the tying run here in the bottom half of the ninth. That misses, ball 1 to Trey. Now keep that chant going, fans. A check on Conklin at second. Hoftalen's 1-0. Low, ball 2. Still can't get a number on who is loosening in the Boone bullpen, but the clock might be ticking on Hoftailen if he can't get Newman. So it's a 2-0 count with 2 on and still nobody out. Newman represents the tying run. 2-0. In the dirt, it gets away. Both runners will advance to second and third, respectively, and a 3-0 count to Newman with still nobody out. It looks like whoever's in the bullpen for Boone is hot and ready, as he's stopped throwing, so whatever happens in this AB, he's coming in. 3-0. That's strike one. Two on, nobody out. It's a 3-1 count. And Newman, if he can get on or drive one somewhere, just got to do something here. 3-1 the count to the Utah Valley catcher. On the outside corner, strike two. Newman thought it might have been outside, but nonetheless, Hoftailen has come back to work the count full. Kohler is on deck. If he can reach, if Newman can reach, Newman would be the tying run. Kohler on deck represents the winning run. 3-2. Up the middle, base hit. That's going to score at least one. They will hold Tharp at third. It's an RBI single for Newman, and the lead has been cut in half. It's 4-2, and that's going to do it for Hoftailen. Oh, boy. Hold your breath, folks. Well, actually, during the pitching change, catch it, and so will I. The rest of the ninth coming up. The new pitcher taking the mound for the Boone Bigfoots is Jasper Dubberly, the Jessup, Georgia native out of Augusta University, and wearing the green jersey instead of the green jacket. As the Disco Turkeys have a ninth inning rally going, they have cut a 4-0 deficit in half. As the Let's Go Turkeys chant has broken out once again, the fans are getting into it. Credit to Boone for bringing a few of their folks along. They've got rally caps out. It's fun at the ballpark regardless of the result. But Henry Kohler comes on representing the winning run Newman is the tying run at first. Dino Tharp stands at third. Eight hits on the ledger for Carolina. Three of which in just this inning. The pitch is up and into Cooler from Dubberly. Kohler is 0 for 3 in the ball game. It'd be a good time to change that. 1-0. Through the left side, base hit. It's a one-run game. Kohler inside outs and laces a line drive through the 5-6 hole. And he has cut the lead to just one. And now he represents the winning run at first base. Boy, if Carolina can pull this off. Oh boy. This would be something. There's still nobody out, by the way. And Caleb Smith, who has the only walk-off hit in the history of this ball club, it came on the home opener a couple of weeks ago. Boy, would this be a story. Winning run at first, tying run at second. Smith lines one into right. That might get down. No. Caught on the warning track. Newman will tag and go to third. Kohler retreats to first. But the tying run is 90 feet away with one out. So that's a fly out for Smith, who's 0 for 2 in both his plate appearances. For Bryson Beber, who singled in his only at-bat thus far, has a chance to at least tie the ball game with a fly ball. First pitch to Beber is on the inner half for strike one. Again, tying run 90 feet away. The winning run is at first. 0-1 coming to Bryson Beber. Swing and a miss. Big time fastball from Jasper Dubberly as he reared back and let that one fly. 0-2 the count. Just need a fly ball deep enough to get Newman home and extend the ball game. Oh-2. In the air to right, down the line, but foul. With solid contact right there. Fans on their feet. As Beber's behind in the count 0-2. But amazingly, the tying run stands just 90 feet away with one out in the ninth. Runners at the corners for Beber. An 0-2 count. Dion Tubbs is on deck. And a check on Kohler. Nothing happening. Bryson Beber looking to provide one of the biggest moments of this season for the Disco Turkeys. Oh, 2. Kohler's running, and the hit and run was on, but Beber couldn't put it in play. I like the idea, though. Bryson Bever will recollect and step back in now with an 0-2 count. And runners at the corners with one out. Here comes the 0-2. On the outside corner, strike three, throw down the third. They got him. That's the ball game. Unbelievable. What was almost a magical comeback ends on a strike him out, throw him out, double play.
The Carolina Disco Turkeys are back home here to Spain tomorrow afternoon against the Greensboro Monarchs. First pitch at 2 o'clock.
First pitch, 2 o'clock tomorrow. And Boone, best Carolina again. We'll be back with you again tomorrow. Coverage will begin at 1:45 here on the Disco Turkey YouTube. Another heartbreaker. Carolina will try and salvage the last game of the homestand tomorrow and get some revenge on Greensboro and avenge tonight a heartbreaker. One more time, the final from Winston-Salem. Boone wins it 4-3. We'll see you back here tomorrow afternoon at Roost Stadium. For Callahan Eshelman on the technical side of things and everybody that makes this ship run, Brett Wiseman saying good night from Winston-Salem.